Commonwealth did their worst. They brought the weight of the state based on spurious charges, based on compromised investigation and investigators and compromised witnesses. This is what it looks like. And guess what? They failed. They failed miserably, and they'll continue to fail.
Welcome back to Fair and Square Files, everybody. Wow, we've got a juicy one today. Fresh off the press, breaking news. Karen Reid's defence team moves to have her case dismissed. You heard that right. Although the jury failed to reach a consensus on the 3 charges Reid faced, they unanimously voted 12-0 in favour of acquittal for the murder charge. Now, it's revealed by new court documents filed by the defence. Attorney Alan Jackson argued that Judge Beverly Cannone had a legal obligation to inform the defence that the jury had reached a unanimous verdict on 2 of the 3 charges when she declared a mistrial. Now, it was a bit of a hot mess at the end there with the verdict slips. It just seemed like a bit of a jumbled mess. And right from the outset, you could see that it was going to be confusing for the jury. It certainly didn't make it easy in what was already a very complex, messy case. And Jackson claimed that the information would have allowed them to argue against the mistrial. He also insisted that the judge should have entered an acquittal on both the murder charge and the charge of leaving the scene of an accident. The discrepancy in the jury's decisions, unanimous on the charge of leaving the scene of an accident but split on the manslaughter charge, hinges on Reid's intent. To be guilty of leaving the scene of an accident involving death or injury, the driver must be aware that someone was harmed or killed. In contrast, the charge of manslaughter does not depend on intent. The prosecution only needs to prove reckless conduct. If Jackson's argument on the double jeopardy issue prevails, Reid could still be retried on the charge of vehicular manslaughter. This development in the Karen Reid trial comes on the same day that the lead investigator learns his fate. That's Michael Proctor, which we will be covering in a separate video, so stay tuned for the latest breaking news. So what's your opinion on all of this? Do you think the defence have raised good arguments? I personally feel they have. There is real mixed emotion regarding the judge and the whole process. There were also multiple times where the jury did reach out throughout the deliberation process to the judge, but it seemed like a lack of clarity was coming back from her. I think the general consensus was that the judge should have been more transparent with those findings. Maybe some greater transparency at that time would have saved days of deliberations and maybe also resulted in an outcome. I would imagine at this point there will be a hearing on this, and of course they are going to need to go back through to confirm that those numbers are correct and the jury were leaning that way with the 2 main charges. I struggle to believe that the judge wasn't aware of that at the time. Slightly frustrating, I think, for everybody, but it is going to be very interesting to see what unfolds from here. If you haven't already, hit the big red subscribe button. We really appreciate your support. And of course, we've now got the membership page. We welcome you to our family. I'll be back shortly with another video on Michael Proctor. It's all go.